you that we were about to head in to this first map. It's gonna be Inferno. It's gonna be that proving ground of Astralis. We saw them dominating on it yesterday, and now they're looking to do it again.
Lots of grenades for NaVi. Triple B, standard stuff, and Simple taking first fights. What's not to love? It's him v Device. The battle of the ages bit pushed down mid. No fear for the young player, and Simple with a flash catches Device. It's Electronic picking up Dupree, and the scoreboard reads blue. NaVi are all over it.
Yeah, Zip down in the pit, right? He has managed to get out at least, and he's trying to buy a little bit of room for Glaive with this bomb to move in. He will put up 2, and that alone, right, is allowed for this bomb to make its way into the site, and it just gets past. But look who's now arrived at short. It's Simple. Alongside him, Perfecto as well. Someone else to keep an eye on here. Boomich is going to offer himself up as that first point of engagement, create a little bit of room for the rest of his team. But Boomich is gone, and Zip's put up an incredible round. Glaive in with another, and this was a 2v5. This was never meant to go in favor of Astralis. Just Perfecto left standing. A big clutch on his plate and so little time left to play with. Zip in the pit takes them down with 4.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to start the game, isn't it? NaVi just flexing, just pushing down mid, taking that banana control, killing everyone. It seemed like a done round. And then Zip just drops pit and executes all of NaVi. A 2v5 in the pistol to begin. You can never let your foot off the gas if you're up against the Danes. 1-0, and the force for NaVi head in their hands. They are going to be miffed about that one. Astralis already giving us a bit of that magic in this best of 3.
A lot of control going in towards top mid, and they're chasing down Simple. Now he is here with the scout, but isn't able to get anything done with it. This force spy, they're already a man down. Electronic has just dropped the bomb down towards short, and this Deagle delivering. He even spots Glaive heading over towards the graveyard, so he is aware. He does have it in the back of his mind that this wrap is coming in. Perfecto hits a nailer onto Dupree, and then there's Bit to follow up onto Glaive. It's just Device. 1 versus 3. It's another round where you're asking an individual on Astralis to have a big old round. And that tag from the scout, well, it's made it even harder for Device. He's getting wrapped through the apartments, and that should be the fate of Astralis sealed in this round. Defuse comes through, weapons picked up, and the force buy works wonders for NaVi. Yeah, they lose Simple early on, but this is now the beauty of NaVi, right? With this kind of like 3-man step up that you have, this potential between Perfecto and Electronic, and then obviously like New Boy in the server in Bit as well. It saves them in that round there. Electronic makes that valiant stand down in the pit. Perfecto helps out with that retrieve scout from Simple's body. And they bring us up to 1-1.
Yeah, Astralis looking like they're going to respect this call. And I like that decision. They go for the force, though. Late buy coming in. Pistols and armor with some utility. Astralis getting a lot of value out of the nades on a map like Inferno, but NaVi have a full belt as well. Device, he was doing this every round against Vitality yesterday, speeding up B, denying early Molotovs and dropping that smoke. He even dodges the nade. Prepared for Boomich's play. But again, NaVi, you know, you win that force, you're so better, so more well-armed, rather. AK for Famas Galil, quite the entourage for NaVi. They're showing us everything. Astralis looking towards that B bomb site, but just getting cycled on grenades. Device eats one finally, and the re-smoke comes down, stalling the clock again for Astralis. But they're not running the gun. They've got a full execute worth of smokes. And they show their hand up towards middle versus the scout. Dupree was able to pick up Simple last time around, and he looks to commit again.
Simple removed once more to open up the round for Astralis, and now we look towards the rest of the gang to try and fill these holes. And I tell you what, on the back of getting a man in through CT like this, right? Look at the positioning of Dupree. This is now looking like a B wrap, and he's able to just sit here and either cut off these rotations from the A bomb site or come in a little bit later to assist with the B play. NaVi might not be aware of just how deep Dupree has gotten. And he will slowly but surely make his way around. Now, they did spot 2 players get out through top mid, right? And that's why we see Boomich looking aware that this is a potential, that this CT wrap could come through. And it is. There's 10 seconds. Perfecto deletes Dupree, but does get dinked in the process. This bomb has got to go down for Astralis. There's just not time. And Perfecto has won the round right there, right then, with that kill onto Zip. So that's it. Their fate is sealed again. NaVi get this second. And now Astralis players are even being hunted down after time. That is the big risk of leaving a play down to those final few seconds. And I tell you what, that's something that we sometimes see betray NaVi. That same kind of idea, right? Well, there, for Astralis, the moment those kills don't present themselves, it's all said and done. And then you also have now that added problem of essentially, you're in this situation where you're looking at it and you go, well, we might as well just kind of force back in again. And Device with no money, he's got armor and a deagle. That's the extent of his buy. Magisk is on 300. So that first investment for Astralis is going to be abysmal.
Oh, Magisk, what a pick though. Running right up B again with the right-click smoke that Device has often done, denying this early Molotov, and that's a great way of taking back Banana. We're going to see if NaVi can adapt to this moving forward and start making more use of these HEs early if they know their mollies are going to be countered. And now Astralis, I mean, not a lot of chance to get much done in this round, right? Device has been given the FAMAS as he is armored up, and Magisk now just sits back with the Deeg and low HP. NaVi splitting 2-2. Astralis have done a good job of drawing that rotation. They've read into this one well. They fancy their odds on the A site, but with no utility, it's going to be very difficult to get in. Electronic still has a full belt and just sat down in the pit as well. Deagle might have to just go in and pick him up, but we know what Magisk can do with this gun. One of the best Deeg players around. Oh, missed Molotov. It bounces for bit. Astralis move up off the back of it. 40 seconds. This time not leaving it down to the final few, not letting the clock expire. Bit flashed in. Perfect timing. Device is blind. A bit with the spray. Picks up a couple. There's a third man there, but he avoids and ducks into the bomb site, spotting Zip on his retreat. Lots of damage done, and Bit is stalling very well here with Electronic watching his long side. He can sit back and wait. There's no prod today. Astralis need the kills. The Glock for Glaive, and that is it. NaVi shut it down. Bit is looking brilliant right now. He certainly, you know, at least on the numbers, struggled in some of his early games on this map, especially considering, as we said, his first game was up against Astralis. Like, that's a trial by fire, but finding more and more comfort in that game-to-game, day by day. And 3-1-2 NaVi as Astralis get their first AKs out.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at it, right? This looks like it could be a force buy for Astralis. Like, you wouldn't even be sold if it weren't for all this utility, that this was the investment. And that's as the result of Magisk and Device both dying after, or sorry, one of them dying after time, the other saving in that attempted force buy back after NaVi won their force in the second round. So for Astralis, that means they've got to be pretty quick on their feet here, and they're wasting no time in getting out through top mid. They're already wrapping this long side. These footsteps have been heard, and Simple's on the angle, but a couple of missed shots, and now they're getting closer. Simple, he needs to deliver something. He needs to put this orb to good use, and he's so low, they're just whittling him down, chased by Device, and suddenly that orb is put into his hands now. Astralis, they're on to this second. Whether NaVi like it or not, they're having to save here. And it's a flawless round for Astralis. As mentioned, one where really they didn't have a lot to go off of it. They get out of it with the AWP and everyone's staying alive.
Yeah, that's huge, right? Because Astralis, after what looked like a really rocky start with them getting forced and then losing players after time, but they've just kind of salvaged this T side now and given themselves some money. You know, don't chase here if you're Astralis. You need all 5 alive, and so Dupree escapes from apartments after seeing Boomich and ult. And yes, Simple, rare couple of missed shots in the pit. First AWP of this game, and they double nade him as well. Device chases him with a deagle. Simple given no room to play. And now you got Device on the T-side AWP, just 5 rounds in. It's great stuff. NaVi, what do they do with their money? If you want to go crazy, you can drop Simple and AWP here, and everyone else can be forcing up. You can get 4 full rifles. And Electronic, yeah, he buys one up as well. It's going to limit his util, but it's a really good buy for NaVi. No one is limited. And Astralis just don't respect the mid-util there, right? The molly's down. Electronic even smokes the Molotov just to make sure there's not a 1 second window, a gap where Astralis can run through, and they still commit through it. No respect given to NaVi in middle. More nades up B. Simple is here to play, but not for long. 50 health. Oh, Glaive besting him again. The nade hits him low. He jumps on the logs, and Astralis have gotten rid of the Ukrainian sniper.
It's a little bit worrisome, man. Simple has been the first to fall in almost every one of these rounds, yet to win an opening duel. Senses you're really not used to saying. They're going to try and aggress with Boomich. I was going to say, that feels a little overzealous, right? Even though they do have that flash on bit, he could have tried to set him up. You know, you're really hoping that Boomich goes above and beyond your expectations if that was going to be the play. And so instead, they just bide their time. And that is because, as well, you got this double porch set up, right? You got that boost. It's great for repelling an A hit. But if you lose a man at B and these players had to rotate, it would be a disaster. Instead, their patience is rewarded. They drop the bomb and they throw a bit of a curveball to Astralis, but batters up and Device right back in with the reply. However, that smoke a little shallow. Perfecto still has the bomb. He's still sat on it. 3 players coming his way. And we've said Perfecto has been great in these clutches. Well, talk about a tricky clutch to navigate through the smoke. He gets deleted. And Astralis are up onto 3, tying us up again and breaking the money of NaVi.
Yeah, Astralis have been doing a really good job of getting that opening kill and resetting without allowing NaVi to trade. It just means NaVi are, in many of these rounds, being forced to play 2-2, and Astralis are favored no matter where they go as they stick together with numbers. Simple dead early again as well, as you say. It's going to have to finally be an eco for NaVi. They're calling out pauses. They're trying to fix the problem that is this opening pick, potentially. And yeah, if I was Perfecto, I wouldn't be standing on the other side of a smoke versus Astralis. That's a terrifying idea. And even though the bomb was gifted in middle, Device picking up both B picks with the AWP, Bit flashing Boomich in, blinds him on the way in, and then even re-peaks. Looked like a done round regardless for NaVi, and this one will certainly be the same. No reason to fully commit here if you're NaVi. You've got a bit of loss bonus now. Chill out, get some pistols, try and get away with some guns at the end of the round. If Astralis let that happen, right now they're looking pretty lethal.
And this head-to-head we were so excited for between, you know, the Undertaker in Simple and the Maverick on the other side has been like a little slow to deliver, honestly, right out of the gate. We haven't really seen much from Simple just yet. Device now does have this AWP, obviously, that he was able to take out of Simple's hands. That's really been the extent of it. It's still early days. There's still time for this to get that much more exciting. Astralis out through top middle, executing into this A site. Simple is wrapping around behind with the Deagle, but Device has his number, nails the shot onto Simple. And now with these smokes down, cutting the site in half, it's only Bit left standing, and he's wrapped by Zipnix. So this round's over. Astralis deal with the pistol threat very, very cleanly. They're not looking to repeat that same mistake that we saw in the anti-force by second round. And so they don't.
Yeah, we have some incredible pit players in the server in Electronic and Magisk, and I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Electronic on this CT side, right? We're already seeing Zip from the get-go, from the pistol round, drop into the pit from the apartments time after time. And so, yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem if Electronic can't put a stop to him. Simple again, dead first. But it's an eco. He had a deagle. There wasn't much behind that round. Pushing through a smoke as it fades. Device was watching for it. Astralis not falling for the tricks of NaVi. And Perfecto saving almost nothing. It's a 4th round for the Danes. With 5 alive in most of these situations as well. They're building one hell of a T-side economy that NaVi are going to need to strip back by winning multiple gun rounds in a row. Not going to be that easy, especially not with Simple not having the AWP here either. Boomich yet to frag. Full rifles out, but we got Fanasis as well. It's far from pretty.
Yeah, sacrificing the firepower in favor of utility, and that's a good move from NaVi, right? They've kind of fallen prey to a lot of these rather fast executes from Astralis, and you know, outside of that round where they do like feign the B execute up into top mid, and even then, that was actually one of the closest rounds for NaVi yet. It has mostly been fast top mid plays into A hits, and then occasionally those fast banana rushes. So This utility is going to be paramount to slowing down Astralis, kind of making them give that respect over, whether they like it or not. Right now, it's Astralis just taking this default, looking for top banana control, looking for top mid control, and from there, they can go wherever they find success based on kind of whatever information they get, whatever picks are presented. Simple really been struggling over here towards Arch. Well, this time he's tucking himself in the cubby and he's got Bit rotating around to help him out. Not just with that smoke to keep them at bay a little bit longer, but even with flashes to try and set Simple up later on.
Yeah, Bit's been doing a lot of that. Pop flashing his team in and vice versa. That re-smoke cancels Astralis' plan. They were walking 2 towards long. They double back. They have to wait it out. Util into A. You'll notice the bomb is going back. It's a B split coming in through the arch side. Simple on the hot plate, but he's got it. Already taking down Glaive. Dupree has him trapped in the corner with a Molotov. Simple doubles up. Surely not a third, but that is a great hold. At the 20-second mark, there are still 2 B players. NaVi don't decide to rotate out, and Boomage sticking here is the right decision. He's aware of a possible flank, even though that's not coming through. Perfecto at the back of the site, can't stall the bomb this time around, but Boomage could drop it and win it on his own. He's not gone for it. He hasn't seen it, and the plant for Astralis finally comes through. That could have been a free round for NaVi. Instead, it's a retake and a 3-on-3.
That was it. That was theirs. No one was even holding it for NaVi, and Boomage didn't see him behind the fountain. And oh, it's embarrassing. Astralis onto 5, and that is down really to that miss-sighting on the swing, right? I think he's just a little bit concealed. Boomage, like very, very tunnel visioned into trying to make the right decision.
Who plants there?
Yeah, swings wide. I think expecting the coffins post-plant. And, you know, with that bomb going down, knows he has to deny it.
Great hold for Simple as well, right? You know, if anything, he stalls that out so well and even makes Astralis double back off of what was going to be a B split. And we've already seen them try and do that with Dupree on that Galil round as well. So, yeah, NaVi are expecting the CT wrap. They're not ready for the plant on the fountain. And that's a really awkward one for Boomage, as it's broken NaVi's money. We talk about the Astralis economy building. Well, NaVi, that was their gun round. And without it, back to pistols. Back to Astralis building in this T side. You see, they're very patient. Astralis never sit around the car position at top B because they know NaVi like to pop flash their players back in and take names there. So unless Astralis are committing with the execute, they're often patient. They're often waiting at the half wall. Dupree keeping up pressure in apartments with Zip. In that game versus Vitality, we never really saw Zip lurking in apps. It was just Dupree on his own, and that's a bit of a change up that might catch up or catch NaVi as it did Vitality. Oh, great shot. Magis, he's on form today. Was definitely the problem in some of the maps versus Vitality, but he is starting off strong, and that is boding well for the Danes as they set back up towards middle. NaVi have had good reads. They've stacked A in many of these rounds that they've lost B picks, and Astralis have walked into them, although it's not been a problem. But Simple certainly could be with that Armor D.
He's just so blind, but he has at least slowed down the crunch. Gave his team. Oh, Dupree. Oh, there we go. Yeah, someone else is like, mate, down to your left, but Bit is already armed with the AK, retrieving that. Astralis are out of there. They're leaving this A site. Goodbye. And now they take the bomb over towards B, where they're going to get it planted. They're going to get this round hopefully locked in. NaVi, I think ultimately just too far away to even consider giving this a go, right? By the time you would arrive at B, Astralis are going to be very, very solidified in these post plants. There's even chances that you would have players going aggressive, which is kind of what Device is trying to do right now with that AWP. And so you would be relying on winning those 2 fights out right away with no real utility, no armor as well, so you got to worry about aim punch. And even then, like, you might find Device, but then there's always that worry, well, when we get into the site, what if Magisk is just sat playing Banana, playing for that post plant? So they don't give it a go. They write this one off.
Yeah, and money has been NaVi's problem all game long, right? That's been the effect of Astralis, but oh, this is heating up already. Simple is getting countered. He is swapping position almost every single round, as Simple often does, but Astralis have had his number time after time, from killing him on long corners to nading him out at B, and right there, he's playing the close short smoke. They double flash him. He's so blind. He spams with a deagle, gets one, but no more. And if you're trading Simple in 1-for-1s, you're damn happy if you're Astralis. So let's see if Simple can get back into things here. Another gun round, gifted the AK from the save. A chance to dance for NaVi. Perfecto and Boomage back at that B bomb site. Device going back to his usual tricks. Volleyed out. Oh, he doesn't have a smoke. Oh, he's got to run. That's awkward. He used it already at the top of Banana, and he'll just duck and dive out of that site. And rightly so. That nade just landed at Logs. That would have been Device dead if he didn't escape.
Something that's scary is Glaive has got that kind of very, very serious death stare going on that we're so used to seeing from him, right? Like that channeled in focus. And it feels like, you know, last few times we've seen him, it's all been kind of smiles for Astralis, just having a good time with it. Well, not right now. They're looking determined. They're looking driven. And they might be driving all over NaVi as they set up over here towards this A site again with a bit of a fake execute from Magisk put in at B. There's the flash for Simple, but it's only one delivered. The A site almost destroyed, but they're wrapping B. They're going B late, man. NaVi, they just never know where Astralis are ending up. Electronic could catch this player lurking through CT and missing that time in there. He's going to get given one more chance, but he needs to hit it. Oh, it's ugly. And dinked by Xyp9x as well. Things go from bad to worse. They lose Boomich in the B site. And Electronic, he's wanted to deny a bomb plant, but he can't, and now he's trapped here. He is stuck.
No one spams this, right? I wonder if the AWP could finish him off through the corner, but no one knows he's here. As far as they're aware, like you said, tagged by Xyp on that chase. And finally, the realization set in for NaVi a little bit too late, even though Electronic comes in on that wrap. If he doesn't get the immediate kill, and plus Boomich dying without anything in B, it's a done deal. It's a lost round. And Electronic looking for exits that will not be found. Astralis skirt on out of there with 7. And yeah, even though that whiff smoke comes in on long, it's not a problem. They just battle in middle. NaVi finally fighting for brackets instead of giving it away, and it comes at a cost. Good trading for Astralis, more money made, almost maxing out on cash on this T side. And NaVi, a silent start. Simple back on the AWP. Needs to show us why that weapon's in.
I mean, that's the thing, right? We're 11 rounds in. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Hugo, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong here. That's his second time purchasing it, right? Correct. And the first time around, he died immediately to a Deagle on Device and dropped it over to him. And Device since hasn't lost that AWP.
Sorry, it's his third, actually. He also died back at B when he took a spawn shot and Glaive naded him and then jumped up on the logs.
Yes, yes.
So third AWP, but yeah, not a lot done with it.
Yeah, right. 11 rounds deep, and Simple's not normally the kind of guy you can afford to go quiet on with this AWP. Electronic at least starts this round off with an opener for NaVi. And so Astralis, they're not really used to going a man down. They now kind of pump the brakes a little bit. They group up outside of this B site. You'll see that Dupree's even making his way over. Perfecto, while he has that smoke, and that can buy time, there's nothing on Boomich, and the smoke hasn't actually gone down, so instead it's used in a bit of a rough way. This utility at B has betrayed them. They get breached into, mate. There's nothing you could do about that if you're NaVi. Perfecto showing restraint and trying to, you know, savor that one bit of utility he has, actually comes back to punish them. And Boomich with nothing has now left NaVi in a 3v4 retake at the B site. They're retreating, they're saving, they're done.
Yeah, that was also a really good call. The reason NaVi's util isn't coming out is in all of these B plays for Astralis, it has been like somewhat telegraphed, right? You're expecting these heavy double molly executes with smokes and warning flashes. No, Astralis are a man down. They know they can't afford to give NaVi the info, and so they throw a CT smoke on the fly, they throw one flash, and they just speed in, running as the smoke blooms. There is no telegraph take, there is no warning of that B execute from Astralis, and so NaVi caught out. Again, the B hold is weak. And Boomich, 0-7, has not been able to put up anything on these B defenses. Astralis may have lost that first pick in apartments, but they just commit into a 4-on-2 and win it without a single casualty. Devastating stuff for NaVi. B needs to be fixed, it needs to be sorted, because Astralis are exploiting it right now. Again, a missed shot for Simple. So rarely do we say this, but it's happening. Hopefully he can step back up with another AWP in this round. He's fighting into ult. A patient play, waiting for Astralis to come his way, and they will up middle, but expecting a peak like this. They've expected Simple wherever he's been. Will that be the case right now? Glaive baited a shot. No, he goes in hard, and Simple finally finds a first.
And is that the kill that gets the ball rolling for Simple? He now sees them flooding out through the apartments. The rest of his team trying to hold on. Another missed shot, but it doesn't matter because Electronic is there to pick up the pieces. And now we look at Device alone in the clutch. 1v4, pretty rough round for him. And look at Boomich down at the bottom of T-Ramp. He's just there as like the fail-safe, right? Ready to deny that save for Device. Perfecto, not willing to give the fight away, not willing to ease up, does put NaVi up onto this fourth.
Yeah.
And so here's something at least, right? Even though Simple is missing a few of these shots, you do have some strong characters emerging in like the supporting cast of this NaVi team. It's nice to see Electronic having a good game. Whenever he's been given these pit plays, he's often looked good at holding down the line. Then Bit as well as the sixth man. He has looked impressive. And Hugo, you said a minute ago in like some of the early games we saw from him, the numbers weren't that great for Bit, but you know, he's looking pretty confident right now. I don't think there's any ignoring the pretty rough start from Boomich. That has been very, very silent, and these are the kind of performances you can't afford to have versus Astralis.
Boomich at least plays it safe in that round while he pushes B while NaVi have the bomb on A. He doesn't fight Device in middle. He's playing safe on ramp. He's cutting off a rotate or a save, and so that's something. If you know you're having a bad game, you've got to play around that. Nice kill for Zip through the edge of the smoke. Simple caught on short to Dupree. And again, Astralis, it's an Inferno classic. 2 kills in an instant, 0 trades, and now it's the save game for NaVi. It's often been happening on this B bomb site, but Astralis, again, a sped-fast pace into A. That was a heavy setup on B for NaVi out of spawn to throw that util down Banana. They did a lot of damage with it onto Dupree, but it didn't matter, as they go right back into that almost empty A site. And the two players you think it could anchor that down with a decent hold in Simple and Electronic show us nothing. And Astralis, yeah, they've got a lot of money. They're starting to consider the hunts. Killing NaVi where they stand, trapped in the back of B. There are so many Molotovs, they start flying over. Oh, at least it misses. Boomich can stand behind the boxes. He has to swing, it spreads at the end. Oh dear, Boomich burns from 100 to 0. Device picks up Perfecto, and that was like so unfortunate for Boomich. The molly doesn't reach him. He pulls the smoke, and then he thinks, oh, I'm fine, I'm safe. Back to the rifle he goes, and then it spreads to his position, and he has to swing.
One of the most horrible things about this happening, right, for a guy like Boomich right now, it feels like it's very, very hard to see IGL's balance cooling for the team while also trying to rescue their individual game, right? And you think about his role on this team, well, he's one of the 2 players tasked with holding down this B site. It's not a nice place to have someone who's A, struggling, but also then simultaneously trying to lead in a losing battle. Simple, flashed out from Banana. Boomich, there we go. Perfecto sets him up, and that's what he's good at, you know. He's trying to help his IGL out. He's trying to get Boomich back on track, and he does net him that 1 kill. So once again, the opener found for NaVi.
Oh no, Astralis, last time they lost the pick, they just fast played that B bomb site in a 2-3 hold. This time it's only 1 man. NaVi have read into this one wrong. They've moved Boomich over on long. He's going to double back as the smoke comes in. And Perfecto this time around uses his smoke at the right time. He stopped Astralis in their tracks. They're still going to commit, but it will be labored, it will be delayed, and it will allow time for Boomich to now get into position.
Oh, they run through the smoke, but in doing so, they're thrust through the Molotov. Dupree and Glaive are both low. Perfecto burn out, but there's the lineup. Zip will respond. There's no CT smoke down, as a Simple and Bit on the rotates are able to get that back under control. Boomich critically as well, never dies there, always alive, always ready to just throw in little tidbits of utility to keep slowing that down. 5 on the board for NaVi. Perfecto with a really, really nice B hold. Like, those 2 kills, instrumental, goes without saying. And so now, last round of the half, there's a chance for NaVi to try and dig themselves out of this hold by putting up a 6-9.
Yeah, and Simple back to this B bomb site, back to the early pick. He's looking for it. Device is topped. Simple with a flick, rarely missing, but today is not one of those days as Magis quickly finds that opener. Device hit by the grenades, down to 6 health. And a pick for Astralis. This is, again, what has been their bread and butter on the T side, finding an opener, stalling, bleeding the clock, and then executing into one of these 2-2s where they are so favored, which will be that site as they look to regain the top of Banana. Device holds on for an ult peek, hoping NaVi go for an information play. They have been pretty reserved. NaVi haven't been making that mistake of giving away picks in rounds like this, but honestly, at the same time, this is a round where NaVi are going to feel the need to play aggressive and the need to get information, and so they do so throughout the apartments. There's no info here for Dupree. He swings, but Electronic catches him from the sidelines and backs up into A. Will Bit rotate as Astralis definitely have pressure up the top of B? That could bait a rotation for NaVi as Astralis make the perfect read. Oh, they do it again. Right up middle. Electronic flashes them out, and that's actually sick from him because even though Astralis don't see anyone, they spam as they're blinded. But it draws Bit back, right? And when Bit rotates back, so do Astralis.
Yeah, this is why Glaive is so scary. Like, he knows the intent behind that flash. No one was getting set up by it. Ooh. It was done as an info play. They dump all this utility back into B, and they are just in the heads of NaVi, man. Boomich is calling out, yeah, no, it's going to be B, and now you see that moment of hesitation. Well, Bit's now coming back round, but we're looking at Electronic to try and hold down the site, and he can't. Oh, it's just domination, man. Glaive, he's in their heads, and while he's doing that, he's taking them off as well. It's NaVi left in the 2 versus 4. Perfecto and Boomich, these 2 B site players, tasked with a near impossible retake to round out the half. Boomich, very, very quiet. You know, impact almost negligible here, and getting outread at every single turn by Glaive. And there he is, dealt with by Device. Glaive down in the pit, puts it to a bitter end. 10-5 for Astralis.
This might be easy as that. 10-5, and back in we go. Astralis with a lot of grenades for this pistol.
And very, very slow on the approach, right? They're not looking to get stuck in. Really not the same kind of pace that we've seen out of Astralis. And that, it's what we expect from NaVi, but is that going to be enough? Bit boosted up into the apartments. They're looking to maintain this control of this area early on. That bomb rejoining the players here on the wraparound after boosting them up. Simple alone at the top of Banana, and that's not a peak there that Glaive's desperate to give over. Simple's trying to bait the utility out. He knows they've got it. He saw Glaive holding the smoke on that peak, but he wasn't able to get that utility out of them. Now they set up for the apps drop. Boomich going to smoke off Moto and flash these apartments players into the site. Now they've got to get in. And Magisk, oh, first point of resistance. Oh. He has absolutely destroyed NaVi. All 3 from the apartments down and out for the count. And that now leaves Boomich and Simple in the 2v4.
Ooh.
Simple, deep within CT. Zip doesn't know. Simple. Oh, they might have been silencing him all first half, but he's come in with a knife kill onto Zipnix. Now, out through long. Is he ready for Glaive in the library? Yes, he is. Simple with the double, but it's all onto Boomich, who had a very, very quiet first half, trying to step it up in the pistol, but he can't go toe-to-toe with Device.
Man, Astralis, they 2-on-5 their T-side pistol. NaVi almost do the same. Simple cutting off both B rotations, but with that bomb loose, with Magis in the pit, Device in the site, Astralis, they take it. That's what a play from Simple, man. What a way to get yourself back in as well, right? Just that reminder to Astralis. Remember who you're up against. And Boomich, sad story for him to be left in the one-on-one and not being able to convert. It's only going to dig that hole deeper. 11-5. NaVi don't want to force. They want that gun round soon. And so Deagles for now as Astralis run the show. Triple B early, Util goes down, and Device goes out, rotating back to the long side. Astralis, a lot more banana control already in this round than NaVi really ever showed on that CT side. They were fine to give it away. Astralis flexing that pressure, but not for long. As the smoke start to fade, they give it up. And a bit of a gamble rotate off as well. Glaive is moving in on Moto, running as well. Bomb is still back down mid, so at any point, NaVi, despite them having 4 up mid, they can go back, they can go for a late B take. You know Glaive is going to be ready for the rotate, if so, with 2 players spotting the arch side, and that is the cool. NaVi walking back down middle. Boomich just playing the bait here. They're going to be able to try and trade it with a Deegs. Simple looking for a pick of his own. But Magis is lining up a nade that could be very, very painful. Simple backs out in time, and it's just NaVi getting rid of as much utility as they can from this Astralis roster. Still only one B player right now. Glaive has that smoke ready, but he's going to need to put up one hell of a hold when NaVi come his way. TikTok.
Yeah, they're leaving it late, right? We've already seen how that can work against you. Glaive boosting Zip up, and they've already checked the boost. He's up here a little bit sooner. Oh, Zip and Glaive with the SMGs. Surely not. That looked like it was going to be a bomb plant for NaVi, but they navigate it so damn well. You know, even with that utility going in towards CT, a lot of damage getting done to the two of them. The quick boost, and the beauty about doing it late as well is those first players in have already checked the boost. They're like, nah, mate, boost's clear. You're good to go, Boom. It's just run in and get the bomb down, you lovable guy. Well, look at him. Poor old Boomich, man. You thought the first shot getting fired off from Zip might have given up the aim of the game, but no one looked aware. And in fact, the only guy who was close enough to actually deal with it was Simple, but he'd already pushed into the CT smoke. And so, yeah, you know, it's only up against pistols, but that looked like a round where you were destined to get a bomb plant if you're NaVi. Well, you didn't. And so now this buy, Simple's got the AWP, which is great, and that comes off the back of his knife. Electronic has the AK as well, but other than that, mate, it's 3 Galils, and that's a bit gross.
Yeah, Perfecto's so desperate for info as well. They double molly down B and mid. He smokes the mid side to peek Banana, but in doing so, cuts NaVi out of the mid control. They do get it eventually as that fade comes in, and it's not like Astralis were exploiting much. They're still running a bonus round with mainly SMGs. They're waiting for NaVi to commit, and they've made the read already. Device on a bit of a rotate, a run through the spawn. As NaVi line up this utility, it's not looking like they're going to commit right off the bat with 2 players still fighting in ult. But that will certainly gift them something. Glaive going aggressive. Boomich finds him. Zip as well, caught in the open. And Boomich, a bit of a recovery here as he doubles up. Device is the 3rd man in the site, and they know now that he's alone. Will they try and take him down before the rotate comes in? There's no smoke in the spawn. That gives open room for Magis, but Device holding strong. Can't follow up with a deagle, only a tag. The nade is great, as Astralis is often are, but they have to concede the site, and maybe with that, the round.
All right, NaVi, on to 6. Still a little ways away from getting us all believing, but it's nice to see Boomich finding some impact, trying to get himself out of that rut. I do think he's going to have an easier time of doing that on this T side than he ever was in the CT half, right? When you're the B anchor and like you're one of these 2 players that has to be holding down that B bomb site, you know, think about some of the cards they were dealt. Essentially, Boomich's entire first half went as follows. Either him and Perfecto got wrecked by utility on Astralis into a fast B play, sometimes even with players wrapping CT, or everyone died at A, and so they saved. And that was basically the extent of what these players got to experience early on. Well, now, you know, he's got a little bit more room to try and open up, to try and flex a bit. Plus, you don't need Boomich dropping like 20 kills in a map, you know, like really just kind of doing the bare minimum is where you need him. But you just want to dig out his individual performance a bit so then he can try and focus on actually leading the team and not sat there in his own head going, man, I'm losing so many of these fights. You know, like that's what you're going to be focusing on as opposed to the grand scheme, the big picture. And I think, you know, the better we see him do, the better the cooling becomes, the more chances NaVi have. And Perfecto's actually been one hell of a teammate here. He just threw his AK over to Boomich. He's taken the FAMAS.
Nice guy.
Perfecto is consistently doing that. You can tell that, like, the relationship between these two, right? They play in bomb sites together a lot. We've seen him trying to set Boomich up more and more. You can tell Perfecto is being, like, this kind of psychologist for Boomich in a sense, right? Like, trying to dig him out of this little hole.
Although Boomich buried and Banana put to 10 by the spray through the smoke.
That'll be the FAMAS back then. Yeah. Like a boomerang.
Oh, dear. Yeah, last round was a bonus for Astralis. It felt a bit weird that Glaive would just like push into top B with no flash. Like they had util on the B side to set him up. He kind of just went in dry, gets punished. Zip is caught in the open. So a bit of a throwaway round for Astralis, but it's fine. They've got big guns here. They've got those M4s out on 3. So chance to bite right back into the CT side. Double arch. Magisk towards the pit. held strong at the pistol as well. It's already a good sign of things to come. Electronic taking out middle. Smoke on Arch coming down from both sides. No one wants this battle. Astralis trying to stall it out as long as they can. Dupree looking into the wall to dodge a flash as Device draws them in, hoping they won't check close. It's a nice little bait and switch with the SMG. NaVi look like they want to get into this archway, but with players backing out from the B bomb site, it's not going to be that CT spawn split, just a full commitment to A. Again, very late on the clock as NaVi like to leave it 30 seconds as they line up the flash and smoke.
Device is smoked off. He's going to try and flash himself through to help out Dupree. However, that's offered him up to Electronic, and now we look at Magis down in the pit to try and put up this hold, to try and be that last man remaining. And my, oh my, he is fighting to the final breath. Electronic looking to steal it away. Will, with the turnaround, but there's so little time, and sadly Zip wins it. Just look at where the bomb is. Look at where the bomb ended up. Yeah, it's up on top of the boost. That is heartbreaking. Now, there was no time anyway, right? So it's not one of those rounds where there's like 15 seconds. There was a chance for Electronic. But that's just like insult to injury. Yeah. The bomb up on top of the porch boost.
That's so sad, isn't it? Bit, man, he jumps around the corner. It's like a bait, right? You're trying to offset an AWP or a player far away, but if anything, as a player close, he definitely could have had that first kill. It's down to Electronic for double trades, almost the ace, but not in this round. And yeah, I like the smokes from NaVi. I like the Arch take. They've got the library smoke. They've got the Arch smoke as well. That cuts off Device. That gives Electronic a way in, but no way out with the round. And despite his best efforts, it's Astralis building and building some more. Off the back of not only a double-digit half, but a pistol win as well. This could be Astralis closing the game before NaVi even have a say in the matter. Warp on Simple again. But as we've seen from Astralis, they've not really been giving any picks in. They're playing very passive, very reserved. No pushes down Banana other than the bonus round. Triple B setting up those grenades. Not as many as maybe they would have liked with that round coming quite costly, but still enough to stall this start from NaVi. Right up the middle they go. Simple's holding on for a short peek. Perfecto selling a bit of B utility. Gets Glaive out of there with a flashbang. Astralis still committed to Triple B as well. Are they going to aggressively play on this flank, come in to try and backstab NaVi as they try and take this A site yet again? Oh. Don't want to offer up a way in.
Yeah, they've thrown these smokes almost on like a bit of a timer, right? This moto smoke went down first, so it'll be the first to fade. And then these smokes in the library and over at short and over at Arch, they'll fade last because they've been recently replenished. So it's like a doorway swinging open that now the rest of NaVi force their way through into this A bomb site. Where did Simple get a kill through? Through the smoke on the wall bang. I think that was to, what, library if I had to guess? That's a bit mental. I have no idea actually where he got that kill. But it is a NaVi round. They do get it locked in. I love that, man. I've always loved the idea of like using smokes on timers so that you purposefully set one up to fade ahead of the others, right? Because it's perfect to get everyone into position there for NaVi. They end up in like this corridor created by the smokes falling at Arch, Library, and Moto. Moto smoke then fades while the Arch and Library smoke is still up. And then that gives them that free path of entry into the A bomb site. And suddenly, Astralis are overwhelmed. And those players from the B site and Zip and Glaive weren't able to rotate in and help out.
Yeah, Glaive was especially hurt by the fact that he was early pushed down B. He read it well. NaVi was setting up in middle, but they were still holding the flank. And so a bit of pressure put onto Glaive makes him rethink that one. He doubles back safely, and that just basically cuts him out of any chance of retaking that round. Could have been the perfect flank if he stalled his initial mid-peak. But just a few seconds difference means the world to NaVi. 7. A chance, maybe at a half, maybe at a win, but it's going to have to be near flawless. Fast Banana play for Boomich, leading the charge. It's a bit of a spray with traded damage. 2 guns in this round on the B-bomb site, and they both pop back in with a flashbang to great success. There's a rifle dropped, but will Astralis be able to go and pick it up? Dupree is already on a rotate to do so. But Grenades up for NaVi. They're still keeping the pressure on this B site. Magic with a Deagle. He has been so good, but not in this round. Bit with a quick kill up in apartments, and Electronic taking the space provided by that rotation of Dupree. Glaive moving back, and he's not ready for how deep Electronic has gotten. Device in the apartments, not going to be known about. They've already got a kill here, and so he is the ace up the sleeve of Astralis, but really at the same time, the only man that can do anything in this round. Unless NaVi walk into this double B hold, it's up to Device.
Oh, there's the chance, and it's gone, man. It's past them. With Bit getting that kill, the A site's now open. And Astralis aren't budging. They're not leaving B. They're just looking to hold on to these guns at this point in time. Perfecto, he could even try and juggle these weapons out of Banana so there's nothing retrievable for Astralis. He will decide to leave that gun there. And so there is a weapon that Dupree could attempt to get his hands on. Now, NaVi, they were very, very far behind coming into this second half. And really, it didn't ever look like they could get back into the swing of things. But they are starting to pick up a bit of momentum now. They are starting to pick up a little bit of speed. At 8-13, still trying to close this gap, still trying to bring it back into their hands. But they are getting closer. And they have kept Astralis on the back foot in terms of the money. This is Zip and Dupree pushing up to try and grab that gun that's dropped here at Banana. And Dupree, if he does get away with it, you could look to invest next round. Now, I don't think Astralis will, just because they are this team that love to play by the numbers. And honestly, they would have a lot more to lose than to gain from forcing this issue. But the option's there, right? And it's always good to have options at a time like this. Likely just going to be a bit of a partial investment around the saved weapons.
Device on a Zeus. Okay, you've got my attention. Dupree gets some Kevlar for that saved M4 and throws over the D to Magisk. So it's well armed for Astralis. They've still gone in with a bit of util, trying to stall this round out. Magisk taking mid peaks. Simple. He's been there. He's not been at the top of the board. Dupree boosted on top of his teammate's head. Electronic, this is a good angle for him to fight, at least. If they come from far, like Bit has been doing, then Dupree should have the drop on him. Let's see who peaks first. There should be a trade no matter what the case. Electronic with a pick, and that is great. Catches Device out from the bottom of the boost. Dupree falls, and even though he re-aggresses for the kill, Apartments is controlled by NaVi. Banana, the same story, and Zip is trapped by the Molotov. He has to run through as the smoke blooms, but Boomich catches him hanging around, sticking for the fight, and that will cost Astralis, leaving them with one rifle. Oh, Bits looks so good on these apps plays, man. Very patient, catching kills almost every round of this T side there. And even though NaVi look like they're about to execute into what could be the double hold, it's only Deagles and P250s here for Astralis, near nothing. Maybe that late boost that worked well on the anti-eco as well. Especially with that CT smoke coming down. Yeah, it's the call, it's the option. And will NaVi be ready for it?
Well, I mean, it's caught them off guard a few times now, so you hope they would be. The flash actually goes too high, but Perfecto checks it thoroughly. Magisk ain't winning that one anytime soon. Glaive, they know he's here as well, and so Simple through the smoke deletes him. It's a team ace for NaVi. Everyone chipping in, everyone pulling their weight. And now just 4 between them and Astralis. And this is the... like, if you are a NaVi fan and you're wanting them to grind their way back into this map, this is exactly how they do it, right? It all had to happen on this T side, and the T side is the perfect half to try and make these comebacks happen in the first place. It's very, very easy to keep Astralis on the back foot in terms of the money. The further behind they fall in terms of the economy as well, further incentivizes these saves that we so often associate with Inferno.
Yeah, and we looked at Astralis' economy, which was incredible on the T side. NaVi's is one to be rivaled as well. Quick nades into the top of B, but as Astralis were patient, playing behind this half wall until they wanted to commit, NaVi do the same. Barely edging forward. Orbs on either side, Device on the long side, Simple sat back in B. Could this just be the flat-out execute into the B bomb site and what would be a 4-on-2 with Electronic coming in on a famed Arch Lurk as well? He'd have to get past that AWP device, and the question for him is how long does he hold if the util comes into B? That's the timing Electronic is trying to hit in this round, as NaVi, with a minute on the clock, very early for these boys, look to execute.
Glaive flashes himself through and then also provides that smoke just to delay it. And now it kind of becomes clear to Astralis what the game plan was here. Device catches Electronic in that lurk. And now he's read into this one. He's like, yeah, well, you know, if they had Electronic primed and ready to go in, then they were likely going to execute in towards B. And this isn't a fake. This isn't some kind of big brain call. This is just a simple, tried and tested B play with that CT split. And right now it's NaVi getting split into Perfecto. Well, provide what he needed to, but that smoke's fading. Device might have a free line of entry into this site, and they almost get caught crossing, but they just about stay afloat. Simple and Perfecto now, these two together in what was a 2 versus 5, have to try and do it all for NaVi. Simple, there's the first to get the ball rolling. Now even odds, now neck and neck. Simple's just holding, he's not moving a muscle. dupreeh will find it, but Perfecto is kept on giving over the goods for NaVi, and there's just no time for dupreeh. He's out of there without a kit, needing that fight, and it's not given over. It is just the save. So Perfecto and Simple pull off the 2v5, and on top of that, it's Perfecto to do the bulk of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, clutch killer this guy is, and even though he doesn't need to fight in the 1v1, he hunts down Astralis with their double setup at the back of B. That looked like the perfect hold, the perfect bait and switch from Zip and Glaive, but still shut down by Perfecto and co. And Simple's AWP in the post plant is nothing you want to run into from CT spawn, and Astralis find that out the hard way. And okay, man, this was a dominant game. This was a one-sided affair. But right here and now, NaVi are giving us something to marvel at. There's no one on A. Astralis taking their time out of spawn, fixing the buys. But luckily, NaVi, not exactly the team that like to rush and play quick out of those spawns, using the whole clock. So it's absolutely fine for Astralis for now. Magic's waiting in the fade, making a big risk play here. Perfecto's got his eyes on it, but he swaps, and the flash comes in. The push for Magic's is perfect, and the smoke's down as well. He can grab the gun, tuck in, and stall for longer. That forces NaVi's hand back towards the A site, and you can already see Astralis know about it. They're running through the spawn. Magic's re-smokes B, stalling that out, and Astralis now have a 4-man hold. Favored fight to them, even though the weaponry isn't perfect.
Oh, deleted on the first peak is dupreeh. There is this rotation of Zip making its way round over towards Library, but right now we're looking at these 2 players in the site to try and offer up a hold. Device might prove to be key up on the balcony with the Famis, and they haven't checked for him. These are all freebies, and Device click and collect, mate, as he puts up all the kills. It's Simple now, left alone in the clutch. Has been a rather uncharacteristically quiet game from Simple, yet to have any of those big moments that we are used to seeing. And this round might not be one to deliver them in either. Re-smoke down at short side. Simple, how on earth is he going to try and navigate this? Over he goes, Glaive and Device, both chomping at the bit to get a hold of him.
Pushing the smoke.
And they go through it. They flank Simple. They don't let him have any space to maneuver. Right? You know who you're up against. You know it's Simple on the other side. You know he can do ungodly stuff at times. And what do? Well, they just suffocate him. First with the utility, and then with the push through it.
Yeah, Device not getting checked as well. That's a big error for NaVi. They're getting drawn into that quad stack on A, and so no one even looks about. Device is sat there fully blinded with players in front of him for 4 seconds before he eventually can finally see and just spray down 2. Great hold from the balcony, and Astralis find 14. NaVi's economy dripping dry. They've got 1 more buy. Not really seen that Simple V Device head-to-head, although it is Inferno, so we've got a whole series ahead of us for that chance. NaVi's pick of Nuke up next, one that Astralis have looked strangely struggling on as of late, but we're not there yet. Zip getting traded at B, the 1-for-1 with 2 more holding players for Astralis at Banana. Device with the AWP as well. Deep smoke, they want to try and get some control back. Perfecto's been pushed out by the Molotov. He's got to swap sides. Glaive's got him trapped. That's a good flash from Simple, keeping Perfecto up in this round. And Astralis might want to just call it off, give it away. They still have this orb that they're trying to bait NaVi into. Device hasn't fired a single shot here, and even though Simple will make his known, Device doubles back.
Oh. Now they've got him trapped. He's trying to bait this shot. The flash is good, but Glaive jumps into it. Too keen to take those fights. Electronic, quick to capitalize, and now they know Device is here as well. Someone had to throw that flashbang. They need to get past the AWP, and a missed shot from Device is letting them get closer and closer, inch by inch. Another miss. He's not going to get given many more, and he tries to disappear, but he can't. Electronic securing the entries needed to open up this B site, and now they set up defensively, do NaVi. For dupreeh and Magisk in the 2 versus 3, they've done a lot of damage, right? They've brought 2 of these players down low, but no kills have presented themselves yet. And in fact, Simple is taking more away from Astralis. It's left to dupreeh. And a near impossible clutch. This bomb ticking away. He's running out of time. He does have the kit, but that's the only thing going his way, right? Thus far, he's only had to fight Simple. He's only had to contend with one man. And if he went any further, he'd be running into those 3 crosshairs, all looking right at him. And NaVi, they're hunting him down. Bit executes him right at the very end. NaVi back into the swing of things. 11-14, just an immediate response from them.
Yeah, Glaive, that could have been a multi-frag, right? He gets one, he gets flashed in from Device, but as said, jumps up just a second too early, and they were both blind there in Banana for NaVi, so he certainly could have won the round then and there on the B-bomb site, but very keen. And it comes back to haunt Astralis, as this game is not a lock-in. That round could have possibly just been the map for them, as NaVi had no money left up other than Perfecto with 3K. So now NaVi have been given a lifeline of economy and can keep battling back versus the best in Astralis. NaVi want that mantle themselves. Third pause for the Danes. Another AWP for Device. And Simple, even though he's not been, you know, rock solid, shining bright, he's been fine. He's been consistent. He's been locking in these post plants. Electronic has been the man making the magic happen right now for NaVi. And as long as he keeps that up, there is still hope.
Oh, between 2 mollies with Perfecto. Astralis are really looking to take Banana away, because it has been this B site that's been the bigger problem for them out of the 2. And so just exerting that pressure early on, not giving it away for free like they have done in the past. I mean, I say for free, there's always been a bit of a skirmish, right? But it's always been taken by NaVi with very little problems.
Huge gamble here. Magisk has no utility. It's not like you've left your AWP at Banana to get usually what will be a free kill and drop off and re-smoke. No, Magisk is left alone. Just a gamble stack for Astralis with 4 on A. And you never know when NaVi are ending by slow T rounds. Very much scared of aggressive players. Will molly close. Magisk flashes off, and that might have to call for an early rotate. Device catching Electronic, and that's a huge kill considering Electronic's performance in this map so far. Double rotate for Astralis. They know with this man advantage, NaVi might just Hail Mary into B, and 1 by 1 they're getting picked apart. Simple needs this trade, and a missed shot again. Magisk sprays down his teammate and tags Simple on the jump. He can't connect. He finally will. Bomb is seen up B, and 2 more CTs here.
And is this going to be the late A player? Is it just the save for NaVi? They're looking to pick up some pace, right? They don't want to give 15 over, but the problem is they've got to go fast. They've got 15 seconds. That nade just might drop the bomb. Simple, narrowly still alive, but the Molotov has held him back, and that will force the save out of NaVi. Not a call they ever wanted to make, but it ends up being the cards dealt to them by Astralis. And in this one, well, the house is definitely winning. It's 15 on the board for the Danes on their map pick. trying to put a stop to this NaVi comeback.
Yeah, it's a spot like this when you think back to how this game was 12-5 at one point in favor of Astralis, right? NaVi have done a damn good attempt of making this one competitive and getting it so close, but it's the danger of not getting a good first half or the pistol and conversion, and now NaVi just fighting with their backs up against the wall, running out of chances, running out of opportunities, and running out of money. 15-11, 4 chances for Astralis to close. Again, the 4B out of spawn, but running right back, leaving Zip alone. At least this time he has that utility that Magis did not. Magis put up one hell of a hold with only a rifle in his Kevlar last round. One while he's at B, Glaive helping out. He closed the series versus Vitality by pushing in through a CT smoke on B yesterday. Is he going to play the same aggression with that UMP? Zip is trapped. The molly coming in. He's still stuck in the corner, and Boomich with another opener. He has been quiet, but been getting these first kills for NaVi on the T side from time to time. Device is on a rotate. Glaive can re-smoke if he thinks NaVi are committing, but they hold off in the 5-on-4.
Out through middle, and still with this banana regression. Only Glaive to get past on Arch side, and this UMP is dealt with right away, and now this B split's coming in. It's all eyes on Device, back of the bomb site, open his hands, and 20 seconds left on this clock. Device, there is so many bodies coming his way. He's first looking to spot this player going up on the boost, but he's not given a chance about that fight. Perfecto will follow up, as the Device's chance to win this one down to time is out the window. Bomb plant comes in. NaVi with this B split through the CT spawn, and it does work wonders. Still keeping themselves in this, still keeping the game afloat. And for Astralis, this is a much rougher time than yesterday, right? Versus Vitality, it felt all too easy to close out. Well, NaVi has certainly given them a run for their money. And it's great seeing that it's coming off of like big performances from guys like Electronic, right? With all these openers that he's been able to get, some of these fakes as well that he's kind of set his team up for, or not even fakes, but rather, but like securing a bit of an alternative route, right? Like he's always good for these opening kills. And then when he's not with the team, he's always putting pressure on elsewhere. And occasionally that leaves doors open to NaVi that would otherwise be closed to exploit later in the round. Bit's been doing more of the same. And then you've had Perfecto, who's given us some great rounds, including winning those clutch moments. That 2v5 that he had with Simple that ends in the 1v1. And Simple's just been like solid in the post plants. That's really been it. And yeah, you bang on, Hugo, right? It's just this another partial investment for Astralis around the saved weapons. Dupree gets spotted going aggressive, and Perfecto's turned on a dime to deal with it. Dupree, this went from like an attempt at a bit of a Hail Mary to now he's trapped behind enemy lines.
Oh, it's a good flash, but it's dodged by both Ts, and they pick him up nice and easily. Device has a Zeus and a USP. No re-smoke in middle either. Magis sat towards B with it. Device trying his best, but not armed for the job, and neither is Magis, losing that one gun. This is a done round. This is NaVi looking for 13. Frothing at the mouth. And Dunzo. 5 alive, NaVi, the money is secured, it's saved. In both times that they've been just about to be forced to eco, they have picked up a nice clean round to keep their heads above water. Their accountant might be pleased, but Astralis are not so much. 15-13, 2 chances now. It was 4. NaVi doubling up, and the AWP's back. Still no head-to-head between Device and Simple. Not really getting that chance. No one fighting mid. No one going for those B picks. The utility at Banana has been brutal on both sides.
This was 13-6 for Astralis, or 12-5, whatever metric you want to use to try and show like a more one-sided game. It was looking like it was signed, sealed, and delivered. But now, this buy, if it doesn't go their way, NaVi, they can very, very realistically take this game to overtime, because the money, it's all in for Astralis. It's all on the table now. And as a result, it's all to play for.
NaVi are exploiting Arch. I love this call. It was what was getting them so many rounds in the early T side, and it's something Astralis have left open and just kind of gambled with these heavy B plays, watching their backline. Dupree is here in time, but they're not ready for how deep NaVi have gotten. Glaive might be a surprise as Boomage throws the utility. Now he's trapped, but Electronic is a great position, and he doubles back, dodging Glaive for now, but not the double peek from him and Zip, and keeps this round intact for Astralis. That Arch trap could have been everything, but instead it's left NaVi a man down, forced to commit into A.
Magisk in pit. Lot of pressure here, and he's getting pressured from everywhere.
Oh.
Bit with the opener. Device has rotated in, but only legging Bit. Oh, there's another for Device. Oh, Simple's gone as well, and he's trying to get Astralis 216. Now just has to finish the job against Bit. That there is the Danes closing it out, and it's the dastardly Device, the Maverick, down in the site, flying solo to get them over the line. Their map pick going their way now puts them 1-0 up over NaVi, but we started to see that NaVi super team.